I'll be providing you a quick overview on i2Scan, which is a bulk batch scanning and indexing application. This is part one of a two-part video. This video will be showing you the ease of profiling my documents. The second part will be showing you how we actually configure a particular job. So let's begin. I've got my i2Scan application open here, and you can see I already have a existing set of jobs here. Now, a job merely represents a particular group of settings for a document type or a particular business process that we want to profile some documents against. You'll see here that I have the scan button, and that's the ability to scan using an ISIS compliant scanner, but also to be able to watch a folder. And this where would be, for example, I scan some documents using a multifunction device, scan to a shared directory, and I can also profile those documents with an i2. Now I've got an ISIS compliant scanner here, so I'm going to scan some documents, and these are going to be part of an accounts payable job. Now here I can, if I wish, name the batch. This is useful. For example, let's say I have a shift of different staff. One person, for example, might type in their particular batch name or their particular name. That enables them to identify it and profile the documents later. If we leave it on auto, it's merely going to numerically increment the batch name. And I'm going to be, as I said, scanning some accounts payable documents. So let's hit start. And it's now going to be scanning in my documents there, my paperwork. Now you can see here that it's prompting me to add more pages to the document scanner. At this point I can also put more documents in and hit continue. But I also can click on the settings button and change the actual scanner settings, and this could be useful where I might have some color documents which I might want to just merely insert into my batch and keep going. In this instance, I've done all my accounts payable work that's in front of me, so I'm going to merely hit stop. And this is once again where we have the luxury of post-profiling these batches when we wish. This particular batch, I'm going to say yes, I want to process it now. And what we remember we're doing here is we're prompted to index these documents or profile them based on my accounts payable job. So the first thing I'm asked for is an invoice number, and this is an example of a predefined zone that it's reading OCR from. Now if I wish to just use the slide bar down the bottom here, you can see I can very easily zoom in and out, I should say, of my document. You can see that's the area that it's read there. That's correct, so I'm going to click OK. And the next prompt is for the supplier name in my accounts payable document, and this is what we term a key from image, so I can type that in if I wish. I also have the ability to do what we term Lasso OCR, and I can click on my OCR button and I can merely just highlight the information that I want, and it'll put that in the relevant field for me as well, nice and easy. Now just at this point, highlighting, let's say that information was somewhere else in my document, really easy for me to zoom in and zoom out of my document. But I also have such tools as to be able to zoom in and zoom out at the top of the i2 menu there, and fit to height and fit to width for my actual document as well. Moving right along, let's click OK. And it also supports, by the way, the tab button as I'm going through here. The next prompt is an example of a list box where it's just saying, well, that's fine, what department code do you want me to assign this invoice to? So let's just say I'm going to assign this to department B5000. If I just start typing in the first letter of my list box, it'll also just jump to that for me as well. Let's click OK. Now we're on to document 2 of our accounts payable batch. So you can see here, just highlighting what's happening on the left-hand side here. It's now gone to document 2, which is a two-part accounts payable document. And what's happening here in my zones area here is it's showing us in blue what we're actually up to in the sense of processing. But also you'll note that these buttons here will change from an orange to a green as an operator has validated the information. So once again, invoice number, that is correct. My supplier name, let's just use my Lasso tool there to capture that, click OK. My department code, this is for C4000 in the example. We're on to document 3 now. Okay, so same scenario, you can merely zoom into the area that you want. That invoice number is correct. OCR the relevant information as part of my supplier name. Let's just say that this is for that particular department. And we're on to our third document here, that is the correct invoice number. Here's my supplier. And this is also going to department B5000, let's say. We're on our fifth document now. We're almost done profiling this particular batch. Let's OCR my area there. And let's say this is for this particular department. Now it says processing this batch is now complete. Would you like to export and close this batch? So let's just say there was something we need to confirm. We could at this point once again have the luxury of saying no. If all the information has been completed based on our business rules, we can select yes. What I didn't mention was the ability at this point to also reject particular pages, documents, or indeed the entire batch if there's a particular document that's not relevant. Okay, we've completed all this, so let's merely here hit yes to export the batch. And you can see here that my batch has now been saved. Let's quickly have a look at what has occurred there once we've exported the batch. Based on those job rules, I told the accounts payable documents to be saved into a invoices directory. If a department code directory didn't exist, to please create one. Otherwise, put the documents based on that department ID. Create a subfolder if one didn't exist already based on the supplier name. And also to create me a PDF file, please, including the information based on the supplier with a space and then the invoice number.pdf. I just loaded that PDF there just to show you. So that's a quick overview on I2 from an operational point of view. As I mentioned, our next video will show you how to configure, or indeed how I configured that job to automate the profiling of those documents.